Well, it's Saturday morning. How you guys doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. Excuse me. I am clearing out this corner because I'm finally going to be getting the bathroom built today. Got some help coming. My brother-in-law, his father, my father are showing up to help. Yeah, so that's awesome because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. I am not a carpenter. I am not a woodworker. I sort of know how to do this stuff, but they are much more familiar with all that. So I've just been clearing out this entire area, been vacuuming up, cleaning up, making sure everything is as ready to go as possible. And been bringing more stuff over, more tools, more materials to make some stuff for the shop. Yeah, and big change. I don't even remember if I put up a video about this on YouTube, but my mill is here. It needs some work, but I love this thing. It is massive, it is stable, it runs very smoothly, although I gotta rewire it. Just for safety's sake. It's got all original wiring from, I think the nearest I can tell, this was imported between 1965 and 1968. The technical brand is TOS. The model is FA3V. V stands for vertical. Obviously, it's a vertical knee mill. It's got a fairly massive, like 6 kilowatt capacity. That's the load meter right there. Really adjustable. It goes down to 45 RPM on the spindle. It has power feed on all 3 axes. And so far I've outfitted it with not a 6-inch, but a ginormous 8-inch Kurt vise. Older style, not the newer ones. And I got it used on eBay, and I did not do that. I have not actually put any holes anywhere on this. And phase 2 rotary table. Yes, they look crusty. I'll clean them up. They'll work fine. It's been in storage for, 2 years at least now. But yeah, it's got quite a lot of really awesome features. You'll be seeing a lot more of this, especially when I wire in the VFD for the spindle. Even though I originally got the VFD to run it off of single phase, but I can run it off of 3-phase and have a bit more control and more safety actually over the spindle, because I can actually put an emergency stop button. I know a couple of other guys online that have these. Parts are actually surprisingly still available for them. They are not cheap, but they are available. The only thing that really does not work on this is the hand crank here. The mechanism, because you could see that bevel gear there. It goes to a block that raises the quill up and down, but that was broken. I know another guy who has the same issue, and he might be able to make another one of those, the mating parts to that, and if so, I'll probably buy one off of him if he is generous enough to make another one. So yeah, that's that. I still haven't gotten paint. It's either been way too humid or I've been busy taking care of a bunch of other stuff. Oh yeah, this is the gantry that I used to load this thing onto the trailer and originally off the trailer. I have no clue what I'm going to do with it now. Yeah, there's a ton of bird poop on that. It's been, yeah, I got to clean it up, but it's heavy duty. I'm kind of actually tempted to set it up in the shop at the end of the door here just so I can unload things off the trucks more easily. It is wide enough to fit, I think, an 8-foot truck and trailer through, which was the original purpose. So you could just back a trailer or truck under it and lift stuff off. I have, I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, I do know where it is. I have a 3-ton coughing chain fall, US made, super heavy duty. I originally got that style because it was the most vertically compact chain fall with the capacity that I needed to lift the mill, and it sits right, hooks onto that bolt. That's a 7/8 TC bolt. Really strong stuff, really good quality hardware, especially when that's pretty much the only thing holding up 5,500 pounds, as near as I can estimate that this thing weighs, with the table and the vise on here and all the oil in it too. Yeah, so it's just a really cool mill. I lucked into it. I was looking for a lathe originally and found this on Craigslist as part of a machine shop that was closing up. The gentleman was retiring and moving up to Maine to take care of his father, who had fallen ill. So he didn't want to move this. And I totally understand why. It's massive pain. It's not your little Bridgeport. And he gave me a really good deal on it. Basically, I got it for a bit less than scrap price. And I made a few parts on it. I am an okay manual machinist. I'm not super formally trained, but I love machining. I think it's absolutely fascinating. And I learned on a Bridgeport, and this is not a Bridgeport. This thing can do things that the Bridgeport that I learned on just would never be able to dream of, because it actually has the power and the rigidity to make cuts that just would absolutely probably destroy your tooling or tweak your head out of alignment. I do have, well, I don't know if it's on this actual YouTube channel, but I do have videos of this thing running. I do have some of that stuff on my old blog. Yeah, there's a lot that I really want to do to it. Anyway, started wiring in the scales for a digital readout. I might have actually ruined the X scale, but that is to be seen. I have to figure that out. There's a lot of ignorance that goes into this, and I kind of expect to break stuff, but yeah. Oh, that's the other thing I brought. This red toolbox. It's generation 1 of the 5-drawer toolbox from Harbor Freight. That's got all my precision measuring tools and some of the other odds and ends that I need for the mill. So that's got a lot of the stuff that's missing off of this. And I know it might not look like it's missing much, but there's a bunch of odds and ends. Yeah, there's covers that go over various ports, and the pieces missing from that. I never got the handle for this, so I'm gonna have to make one. I have to make one of those, and that should be a fun little project to do. And yeah, I have to figure out how to get the light working again. It's got a really cool ball tension assembly there. I like the operator controls on both sides, really, and it's meant to work 24/7 for years. The y-axis does show wear, but the table still has a lot of the original scrapings on it, even with some dings. There's still, I don't know if you can tell with this light, but there's still a lot of scraping marks, and therefore not a whole lot of wear on the z-axis here. And overall, it's just in really good shape. It can hold tolerances better than I can as a machinist, so that's pretty much all I need. It is one of my favorite pieces of machinery I've ever come across. It's definitely one of the coolest I own. And eventually I'm going to scoot this thing back over into this back corner when I finish getting this painted. And yeah, you can see I've got a whole bunch of project stuff to work on. I've got my spare Miller Maxstar DC only, but it's good to have a backup. Although I may end up selling that. If I could sell that and pick up another AC/DC machine, I'd kind of prefer to do that, but we'll see. It does have a lot of hours on it, but it works perfectly. I actually don't like it. It makes really awful noises, and I know that might sound stupid, but it just sounds awful using it. It's capable, but you can tell that the control for the inverter on it is neither sophisticated nor advanced, and it has a lot of what I guess some people call chopper noise. And yeah, so that's really about it. I am basically waiting on other people to show up. I'm waiting on material delivery. I'm not exactly happy with Lowe's at the moment. Their business account service stuff is not very good, in my opinion. And the actual ProDesk people at the Lowe's that I go to are fantastic. They're super accommodating, very helpful, but the online integrated portion of their Lowe's for Pros website is actually kind of awful, and I don't care for it. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I just spent 2 days trying to put in an order, which should take maybe half an hour with the amount of oddball stuff that I ordered, and it was just really annoying to have to spend that much time just dealing with just all the crap, you know, spending the time to build an order, not being able to save the order to like a PDF file or something like you can with other online ordering systems. It wouldn't take my business account information as payment for some reason. And that kind of boggled the help desk people's minds, because they're like, well, I don't know. To be fair, I do have a very strange effect on all sorts of electronic systems and computer stuff. Yeah, that's definitely the case. I'll probably get more into that in a bit. So, but yeah, there is the shop update. There'll be some more info, more videos probably here soon at the end of the day, with building, framing, and hopefully sheetrocking most of this. Once I get sheetrocked, I can handle pretty much everything else myself. There'll be some wiring, because of course you need lights, and probably put a vent fan in to at least evacuate some of the poo vapors from the restroom. And I actually wouldn't mind putting an actual vent in the wall somewhere up there. But yeah, so I know that I'm probably gonna be running back and forth to Lowe's and Home Depot just to get a few odds and ends, because yeah, I don't think I articulated very well exactly all the things that need to happen. So I have very willing and helpful people coming, so I really appreciate having that resource and their willingness to help with everything. So yeah, so that's about it. I figured I'd update you guys, the few that actually do watch these videos. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I will have a busy weekend, at least today, and then tomorrow I can take care of personal chores like laundry and that kind of stuff. So, oh yeah, before I forget, actually, I cannot wait to use my Fireball 2 Mini Mega Square. This thing is so fantastic. Check out Fireball Tool if you are interested in learning more about these. Check them out on YouTube. I'll probably try to put a link to their accounts in here. This is just one of the most amazing fabrication tools. You can check out how people use these online, but you can use them to set your right angles. You can use them to set pieces at 45s while still getting into weld. You can set an internal 45. You can clamp on the back side of all of these things. They're drilled and tapped holes, so you can put these tabs onto these holes and actually line up pieces against the back. And yes, they're not actually ground, but they are milled very well. And they're usually more accurate than your measuring tools in the shop, at least in this shop anyway. So I got this one. This one's made out of cast iron. They offer them in aluminum. I went with the cast iron for durability and also weld spatter, although I don't really plan on doing too much MIG in the shop. But MIG is MIG. It's just fast. It's easy for squirting stuff together. But weld spatter doesn't stick to cast very well. It's very resistant to puckering under weld spatter too. So yeah, if you don't know about Fireball Tool, probably should check them out. They have packages. This is the mini one. The mega one is, I forget how much bigger than this, but this, I got this size because this is appropriately sized from almost everything that I do. I want to get more eventually, but and they also have different styles as well. So that should wrap it up for this update. If you like what you're seeing, if you want to learn more about stuff, subscribe. There will be more videos pretty regularly about building out my shop and the work that comes in, the work that I'm going to be doing, stuff that I'm going to be building, the cars that I'm going to be building. I like to share a lot of the tips and techniques and the tools that I use in my fabrication. You'll be seeing more of this thing and me taking it apart and putting back together, which I figure some people like. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram at BeaverBuilt. You can look me up on Facebook at BeaverBuilt. And yeah, I hope to see you guys around. Hit me up and have a great weekend. Be awesome.